Did we almost lose to the Carolina Panthers? Yeah, but guess what? We're 2-0, and I don't give a fuck. So we're going to move on here into week 3 of the NFL picks and predictions video, because we were only 2 weeks into the season, and it's been an absolute disaster. So we're going to start here on prime time with the Miami Shrimps, the Miami Goldfish, taking on the Buffalo Bills in upstate New York, Buffalo, where the Buffalo Bills are minus 11.5 against the Miami Shrimps. Where do you think I'm going with this game based on what I've just seen the past 2 weeks here in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins? This team's a disaster. McDaniel's going to go. Tua needs to retire. Tyreek's going to get traded. This team's a mess. They're going absolutely nowhere. They're versing Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills down in upstate New York, and they're going to get absolutely fucking crushed. The Bills are going to do what the Lions did to the fucking Bears in Detroit. Whatever happened in that game, the Bills are going to do to the Dolphins, just like they just did to the Jets. Buffalo Bills minus 11.5, 10 times out of 10, twice on Sundays. Moving on to the Washington No-Names, taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Just lose, baby. Las Vegas Raiders plus 3.5, down in the state capital, Washington. Jane Daniels might not play this game. If Jane Daniels doesn't play this game, I would just suggest not to go anywhere near it. And if you do have a problem, you are most likely going to intake in this game. If I were to pick a side, I would still side with the Commanders, coming off a fat loss to the Green Bay Packers at home in a revenge spot. They got the weapons. They still have the good coaching staff. They're at home. The Vegas Raiders are not a serious team. Geno Smith could do so much. He's not a franchise quarterback. I don't know what they're doing. You got Pete Carroll. I understand that. You got Brock Bowers. You got Max Crosby. You don't have a good team. Your team's just not good. I don't know what else to tell you. You're just not a good football team. The Vegas Raiders can compete with the New England Patriots of the world, the Carolina Panthers of the world. They can compete with, who else we got here? Let me think for 1 second. The Tennessee Titans of the world. They will compete with those teams. But when it comes to good football teams, and I know Jane Daniels might not play this game, I would still side with the Washington No-Names in this revenge bounce back spot at home. So give me the Commanders, aka the Washington No-Names. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons, who are favored by minus 5.5 over the Carolina Panthers, who almost beat my Cardinals, but they didn't, because it's still the same old Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young is not a franchise quarterback. I don't know how much more time or film we need to see of this guy to know that he's not the real deal. And I understand he's on a Carolina team that has no O-line or no anything. I know they're a disaster of a team minus Bryce Young, but there are still times and moments where Bryce Young puts on a performance. You're like, oh, damn, this guy's actually low-key nice. But there's also times in the game where you're like, oh my God, this guy fucking sucks. And in this specific scenario, I just would not take the Atlanta Falcons as a favorite in by any stretch of the imagination. I don't care who they're playing. This team, as an underdog, sure. As a favorite, on the road specifically, I would still side with the Carolina Panthers. Call me crazy, but I would not be shocked if the Falcons lost this game outright down in Carolina. Moving on to one of the most talked about teams in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers taking on the Cleveland Browns, who is a dumpster fire of an organization, who is up there with the Bears and the Carolina Panthers and all these other disgusting, disastrous franchises in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns, Jerry Jeudy could only get you so far. All right, Joe Flacco. What's there to say about the Cleveland Browns? They're at home again. I know they kept it close against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Tiger Stripes, but they also just got blown out by Lamar Jackson. And I would put Green Bay in the upper echelon of teams with the fucking Ravens. And I think that the Green Bay Packers will win this football game. But that Cleveland Brown defense with all those guys that they paid a lot of money to, low-key might keep it close. So don't be shocked if the Cleveland Browns cover the spread. It's either going to cover the spread or they're going to get blown out by 20. Now, where do I side on this game? This is Green Bay's first road game of the season. Call me crazy once again. I just took the Panthers. I would take the Cleveland Browns plus the points here. If you want to tease the Packers down to a pick'em or minus a field goal, that's not a bad show. Moving on, we got a disaster here. What do you do with the Pittsburgh Steelers after the performance they just put on against the goddamn Seattle Seahawks? And what is that rookie Johnson doing? Do you not know the rules of the NFL? Do you not know when or how to play the fucking game? How do you not know the rules of the NFL? I understand, okay, you can make the argument, he's a rookie, oh, pressure, this, that, stress, dude, if you don't know the rules of the game, you should not be on the field. It's very simple. I'm not sure where we went wrong. I'm not sure where we went wrong with this, but the Pittsburgh Steelers are facing the New England Patriots, where they always struggled in Foxborough. Keep in mind, going back in the day, they never really performed well in Foxborough. Minus 1.5 Pittsburgh Steelers on the road after that performance against the Jets. First of all, what a disaster. I know they won the game, but yikes. And then you put on that performance at home against the Seattle Seahawks. Yikes. Also yikes. And then you got the New England Patriots who are playing with the house's money. The New England Patriots, nobody expects anything from them. No, we all know the New England Patriots are not going to the Super Bowl. So they're low-key in a good position here because they're playing a Pittsburgh Steelers team who is desperate for a victory when they have all these aspirations, when they signed all these guys. They got Aaron Rodgers, they got DK Metcalf, they got one of the Watt brothers. They're in a way more serious situation than the fucking New England Patriots are. And the fact that the New England Patriots are at home, it would not shock me in the slightest if the New England Patriots somehow found a way to cover the spread. And I know it's only plus 1.5, which means they have to lose by 1 point. Are they going to win the game? Probably not. This might be a field goal game regardless, but what do you expect? You like to think that Mike Tomlin will have the boys ready to go up against New England and Drake May, who's in his second year, and this whole New England plan. I just think that the Steelers have enough to find a way to win in New England. And I know they don't play there. I know they don't play well there historically, but I think when your back is pushed against the wall to a certain degree, and you have someone like the pedigree of Aaron Rodgers, and you have the coach like Mike Tomlin, you got that defense, you got Watt, and you got a veteran in DK Metcalf. You got weapons. The Steelers have weapons. They kind of just need to figure shit out. And I think this is a perfect game for the Pittsburgh Steelers to figure shit out. I think they cover the spread. I think they win this football game. I think that they have much more to lose here than the New England Patriots do. Moving on, as my screen goes black, we got arguably the game of the week. The Los Angeles Rams playoff rematch against the Philadelphia defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles are minus 3.5 at home against the Los Angeles Rams, led by Matt Stafford and Sean McVay, and all the weapons that they got on offense and their unreal young defense. Give me the Rams to cover, Eagles to probably win by a field goal. I think this hook is crucial. Give me the Rams. Moving on. Okay, so now this game is this is one you want to keep an eye on here, as they say. Indianapolis Colts. They're like one of those teams like the Atlanta Falcons. You want to take them as underdogs. You trust them as an underdog. You want to believe in them as an underdog in that position. And I know Tennessee sucks. I am aware of that. Don't get me wrong. But laying points on the road with the Indianapolis Colts in a divisional game, and I know the fucking Titans suck, give me the Titans here. On the lows, give me the Titans. And keep in mind, if you bet this game, you should probably call the 1-800-GAMBLING number because you have a problem. But I would still side with the Tennessee Titans here because I just wouldn't trust laying points with the Colts in general. Never mind on the road, and also never mind in a divisional game. So I would go with the Tennessee Titans there to cover the point spread. If you have that big of a problem to bet a football game like this. And then you move on to the New York Football Jets. New coach, new quarterback, same old Jets. The Jets stink, dude. What happened to that defense so many years ago? So many years ago, I'm talking about literally not even 3 years ago, when the Jets had this unbelievable defense. And they got weapons, dude. Garrett Wilson, they got Breece Hall, they got weapons. But Justin Fields is banged up. Who the fuck is quarterback in the fucking Jets? And then you got Tampa Bay led by Baker Mayfield, and they have a great team. And that Bucs team is in a horrible division. Horrible division. They have such an opportunity to go to the playoffs again in that horrible division. They have a chance here at home in their home opener to dismantle the Jets. Give me the Buccaneers at home here, -6.5. Moving on to a disaster of a game. Who's even playing in this game? Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is starting for the Vikings. And then you got Jake Browning for the Bengals. What do you do with this game as the Vikings, who just got blown out by fucking Atlanta, are -3 at home against the Bengals? If I were to pick a side, I would go with the +3 with the Bengals. But once again, it's like the Colts game. If you engage in this game, you probably have an addiction and you should probably seek help. It's just the facts. You're gonna put your risk on a game where you have 2 backup quarterbacks going. It's just not serious. You just have to be sure. And that goes back, by the way, I think Marcus Mariota is starting for the Washington No Names. That's crazy. Another game you should probably stay away from, even though I still said you should take the no names. Watch out for Marcus Mariota. He's like Carson Wentz, who even knew he was still in the league. Like, where's he been? Anyways, this next game I think is a must-watch game. Another divisional game. Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars down in sunny Florida. You got the Houston Texans, who had a lot of hype around them going into this year. Weapons, you got CJ Stroud, you got this, you got that. You're 0-2. No matter how good you're supposed to be, you're 0-2. At least the Jaguars are split 1-1. The Jaguars have more wiggle room than the Texans do. The Texans go down 0-3. I'm not saying it's impossible, but to come back and make the playoffs, especially in that division too. Like, I know the Titans are going to finish last. The Jaguars are better. They're still the Jaguars. Like, you can't trust them. And then you got the Colts, who are somehow going to go who are going to the Super Bowl. So you need to win this game if you're the Texans. I think they do. I think they normally play the Jacksonville Jaguars well. I know it's in Florida. I don't think that adapting to the Florida Heat is going to play a huge factor in this game. They're a team from Texas, Houston, Texas. That's not a big thing for me. It's not like a team like Cincinnati going down to Jacksonville to play a game. I think that the Texans keep it close. I think the Texans win this game. I think they go to 1-2. Moving on. Now, this is an overreaction if I ever seen one. Seattle Seahawks -7 over the New Orleans Saints. Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday, who dat? Now, don't get me wrong. Spencer Rattler, he's currently 0-8, 0-9, 0-8 as a starter. Like I said last week, the Saints are they're not going anywhere. They stink, dude. The Saints stink. We know the Saints stink. But I think this -7 is an overreaction to what the Seahawks just did to the Steelers. I would take the New Orleans Saints here, reluctantly, with a +7. I think you're getting decent value with a team that nobody's going to take. And if you know the NFL, and you know when a lot of people bet one team, you know the other side always tends to cover, if not win the game outright. Saints +7. Moving on, Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Superchargers. The Bolts at home taking on the Denver Broncos. Now, this is a game. This is a great game. I would still go Denver Broncos here. I think that the Denver Broncos got rigged out of that game against the Colts. And I just think the Superchargers are on a high right now. And I just don't believe that in the NFL, this fairy tale is going to continue. I just can't see the Chargers going to 3-0. I could, obviously, but another divisional game and another low-key week 3, a must-win for the Denver Broncos, because you know the Chiefs are going to blow out the Giants. So if you're the Broncos, you need to win this football game because the Chargers look dangerous. They got weapons upon weapons on that team. That team's unreal. And Justin Herbert, I'm a big fan of his. I always have been. And they have a great coach. This is 2 mastermind coaches going head to head, and I would be shocked if the Chargers blew out the Broncos. I would lean Broncos there. Moving on to my favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals, plus 1.5 down in Santa Clara, San Francisco. Minus 1.5, the 49ers are, led by Mac Jones and his. We play the Niners well. We tend to always somehow manage to play them close, if not win against the Niners. But this short of a number, dude, this is a really, really tough game. I think CMC goes crazy. I just still think that without Brock Purdy, I think Mac Jones will give you a solid 2 quarters and then fold like a cheap tent from Walmart on rollback for $13. Give me the Cardinals go 3-0. Yeah, I'm not even being biased towards my favorite team. I just think that we have a lot of weapons, and so do they. But without George Kittle, without Brock Purdy, you're looking kind of thin, dude. You can only rely on CMC for so long. I just think we do enough to beat the San Francisco 49ers. Like, the Niners, who have they played? They played the Saints and they played the Seahawks. So you can make the argument both ways. I would still lean towards the Cardinals here. Moving on, I don't mean to take all underdogs here, but like, what do you expect me when you have the fucking Cowboys are underdogs to the Chicago Bears, dude? The Chicago Bears just let up 52 points on their head. And I know the Dallas Cowboys went toe-to-toe with the New York Football Giants. But you're telling me Dak Prescott is going to go into Soldier Field and lose to Caleb Williams and his black nails? Come on, dude. Come on. Cowboys as an underdog, I mean, you just based off general principle, you have to take the Cowboys. And I don't think the Cowboys are a good football team. Like I said in week 1, they're going to give up a lot of points, but the Cowboys could also score a lot of points. And when you have Brandon Aubrey as your kicker, you always have a chance to win a football game. I think that they should win this football game against the Chicago Bears because the Chicago Bears are not a good football team. They're not going to the playoffs. They're not going to go. They don't have Super Bowl aspirations. And don't get me wrong, the Cowboys are not going anywhere near a fucking Super Bowl. But I think they have enough weapons to beat the fucking Chicago Bears. The Bears. Moving on, Patrick Mahomes, 0-2, first time ever in his career. Oh my God, the world's falling apart. Taylor Swift is going to fucking leave Travis Kelce because the Chiefs are 0-2. Oh my God, the Chiefs. First of all, fuck the Chiefs. Second of all, they're going to fucking smoke the Giants. Smoked, I take that back. It's still the Chiefs, and we know they never win close football games. But to sit here and think that the Chiefs are going to go 0-3 against and lose to the Giants is crazy. They're going to win the football game. So if you were to do something in this game, I would tease the Chiefs down in a 2-team 6-point teaser to probably a pick 'em and take the Chiefs. But we're going off point spreads here. I just don't think Russell Wilson is going to do what he just did to the Cowboys. I think that's an anomaly performance by Russell Wilson. And I just don't think that Patrick Mahomes is going to go down 0-3 in his 2025 tenure as a Kansas City Chiefs quarterback. Moving on to, actually, this is the game of the week. This game right here, and the Rams, Eagles, Lions, Ravens, 2 of the best games of the week right here. Lions getting 5.5 in Baltimore. What? Why? How? I'm not sure. Are they trying to bait people into taking Baltimore because they just absolutely stuck their fucking balls in Cleveland's mouth? But in the same breath, the Lions just put up 52, and I know it was against the Bears. But you're going to give plus 5.5 to a Super Bowl contender against another Super Bowl contender. Wouldn't that likely make you want to believe that this game's going to be close? Like, do you really see the Baltimore Ravens winning this game by more than 6 points? I think this is a field goal at most. I would like to think that the Detroit Lions are more than capable of keeping it close against the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're very similar teams. The only X factor in this game, it's not Derrick Henry, it's not the Ravens defense, it's not Zay Flowers, it's Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's the X factor in this football game. If Lamar Jackson has a game of his life, he could easily make this team win by 6 or more. But I just think that at the same time, I think that the Lions have enough offensive power, offensive weapons to keep it within 6 points. So I would take the Lions there. And I believe that is it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm moving into next week here. Okay, yeah. Well, that's week 3. That's the picks. That's the predictions. Do what you want with this information. I'm just here to fucking speak what I think. And long story short, Carolina Panthers still suck. That's that. Thank you.